Hey YouTube, this is Darrell. I want to talk about the Joshua Brown murder as well as the Botham Jean family. It's in regards to Nicki Minaj, Do Not Trip Out. I basically was a fan of Nicki, like I would say about 8 years ago. I liked her first album. I thought it was eclectic. It was a lot that she did over the years that made me be like, oh, okay, I wanted more. Maybe she peaked, at the beginning stages of her career, but, she still has proven to be a force in music, which is great. But this video is not about that. This video is about Nicki Minaj making statements on Twitter in regards to Botham Jean's family. Botham Jean was murdered by a cop. A lady named Amber Geiger, and she was sentenced to 10 years, possibility of 5 years max, or maybe less than that, based off of her appeal if that goes through. Okay, the neighbor of Botham Jean was Joshua Brown. Joshua Brown testified. I did a video on this earlier. If you don't know about this case, it's been everywhere. So it's all the information is out there. But this video is about the Instagram post that Nicki Minaj did regarding the the family. Basically, it seemed like, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate on both sides. It seems like Nicki shamed the family and the brother for forgiving, Amber Geiger so quickly after, the murder of Botham Jean. But as far as where Joshua Brown was concerned, her statements were relating to the fact that Joshua Brown should have not testified. Basically, he would still be alive if he just didn't testify. Now, that's a opinion, and I get it, but a person that chimed in was S. Lee Merritt, which is the lawyers for Botham Jean and Joshua Brown. He basically denounced her and praised Rihanna and praised Cardi B for them showing more compassion. It was as if Nicki sounded like, with her big audience that, Joshua Brown should not have testified, then he would still be alive, but you don't know that. You really don't. It could have been a coincidence. We don't know if Joshua Brown would have died anyway, on an unrelated topic, even though it looks like, and everybody's speculating that it's related to this case. I believe it's related to the case. I believe it's a cover-up myself. But with a platform, if I had a platform big as Nicki, I would be more for the justice system to have fairness and, having the judge, which was the point of S. Lee Merritt, the lawyer. His point was that she needs to use her big audience and her voice to actually point light at the fact that the judge seemed very, sensitive to Amber Geiger, and personal things were involved in there that made it seem like there was some kind of, softening of judgment and things that are relating to the case. If she's a judge, she's supposed to be impartial. But having, Nicki have a big audience, it seems irresponsible, because she could be influential to any type of situation, being that she put her name on it. She got over, I believe, 100 million followers through social media platforms, which is good for her. But, it's almost looking at the family like, well, why did you accept this woman and give her so fast? The brother of Botham Jean was more of a religious person. His faith is strong, and his faith is taught to forgive, and that's what he did. I think personally, I think that he might regret that forgiveness so early. I mean, you can forgive, but it has to be a reasonable time for you to mourn the loss of your brother in a way. But you can't really tell people how to mourn. Maybe that was his way of mourning, maybe feeling like he was doing the right thing. But it just created more questions because the level of forgiveness that he seemed to have, I don't believe that it's fully there. I don't believe that he forgave that easily, but I think it just sounded good. It sounded really good. It sounded appeasing to maybe the people around him. It sounded appeasing to maybe even himself at the time. Like, you know, you're doing something that God wants you to do, which is great. However, you know, I don't know how sincere it was after all, because, you know, you have a brother that's passed and a situation that could have been avoided. Or was it not avoided? It was manipulated. It was basically, since she was proven guilty, you would assume that she actually intended to kill this man. That's why she got that conviction. But it was, however, lenient still. I'm not bashing Nicki. I see where she's coming from, but I believe that she's trying to relate too easily to a situation that really has nothing to do with her. She can comment on any story that she wants, but I think she forgets that she has a big audience and a big influence, and she has to choose her words very carefully. Unlike us commentators, us bloggers, we can say things and not have all the facts, not be totally articulate with what we're saying. But if you have 100 million people, you just want to kind of make sure everything you're saying is on point, if it's for or against, or maybe her showing sympathy for the family that is actually going through. And if Joshua Brown's family is not blaming Botham Jean's situation for the death of Joshua Brown, then Nicki has no place to shame anybody relating to that case, because it just brings negativity. You don't know how each family member is dealing with and grieving with it individually. It would be nice if Nicki would reach out to each member of Joshua Brown's family, each member of Botham Jean's family, and explain herself to them. She doesn't have to do it publicly, because I think it's already too messy. Just even the back and forth with the lawyer inserting almost, I don't know if that was, see, it's certain things, it's like you can't do things without thinking about it. But if you think about the lawyer inserting Cardi B's compassion into it, it's almost like it was a dig, because it was like, I'm fueling what the beef is with you guys, and I'm proving my point at the same time. And I don't know if that was needed to express the same sentiment that Nicki's influence has power, and she basically should not come off like she's shaming. But I feel like I know Nicki pays for people to go to college, and I'm not even a big fan of Nicki anymore. But I feel like Nicki is just a passionate person, and sometimes she goes on her emotions. But in this case, it's something that she's going to hear the backlash from, but I believe in her heart that she's a good person. I believe that she's misunderstood. I believe that she basically has a lot of things that she's dealt with in her personal life that lets her speak on certain things, that makes her want to express herself, sometimes without care, without carefulness. And that's what she should do in the future. Just be careful. Now, if she's not going to be careful, stand by what you said, but it has to be correct in a way. If she's going to stand up, it has to be fully correct. It did come off as insensitive to even say that. If she thought that, I could see, but her saying that publicly, I think that privately she needs to reach out to the family. Maybe if there was a charity in Botham's name, let her donate some money to it, or put her name behind it to allow other people to donate, use her influence that way. But I get what she was trying to do, but she's not a regular person. And she just got to remember she's not a regular person. She bleeds like everybody else. Considering social media, she's a big personality and she has the power to change things. And she has to remember her place in what she's worked for. She wanted this success. Now she has the followers, but she has to remember she is not the followers. Still, she's not the followers. They're following her. So anything she says can be mistaken for something negative, but I don't think in her heart that she meant to shame a family. I just think that she'll probably read it back and say, oh, I did look like I was shaming the family, but I really meant this. Oh, I really meant that. That's what I want to say. So it's not a bash Nicki. It's just that I understand both sides and I understand what it looks like. The lawyer had every right. The only thing I disagree with the lawyer in his professionalism is that him bringing in Cardi, even Rihanna, but bringing in Cardi as to throw a dig at her, saying that she was more compassionate to the family, which she probably was. That's one thing Cardi might have did better than Nicki in this situation. Let's keep it real. So you let me know. Follow me on social media. All my links are at the bottom. Go to my website, Scared of Light. I have a book coming out, my second novel. Already have one already out. It's available everywhere online. You can go to my website. But the first one is called Scared of Light, The Dream Memoirs of Russell Banks, which is a series. It'll be about 7 books in this series. So it's a needed hero that's in a fantasy fiction type of situation. But then I wrote a more woke, serious book, but it's entertaining at the same time. It has a storyline that's going to get you at the end. You're going to probably cry because it's just so deep. But it is The Brown Paper Bag Boys and the Colorism Experiment. It's coming out, I would say, in about a month. So you let me know, follow my links, and please subscribe, because if you don't subscribe, you won't know about the contest that's going to go on. You won't know about anything that is happening with giveaways, sweepstakes, promotions surrounding my book. So it's a lot of things coming up. I just can't tell you everything, but you let me know. I definitely will respond. So you let me know. And definitely this video is not meant to mean any harm to either side, because they've already been through enough. But I definitely get what the issues are within the case. So if you want to go do more research on the case and what Nicki said, it's all around. Google it. Thank you. Talk to you later. Peace.